And it could be breath, or it could be one of the ones we talk about here. And whatever resonates with you, do that. So how can I learn to trust that intuition? How do we decipher between intuition and heightened emotion when making decisions? Yeah. So I'll just answer that quickly. And then again, practice is really important. But intuition feels very different in the body than emotion or thoughts. Intuition is that knowing that feels calm. It feels light. It doesn't tend to feel tense or nervous or frightened. It's a different feeling. It feels like, when I think of that, I feel calm. It kind of excites me. It feels much more gentle, much more soft. My body doesn't feel tense when I'm thinking of it. It's like a whisper. It just feels very different in the body, and it does take time to know the difference. But how you really develop that, and I'll talk a little bit later, is taking action from that. So the first few times you're playing with it, you'll think, oh, that feels nicer when I think of that. It feels gentler. It feels more exciting. It feels more open. My heart feels like it's open. It feels like I can breathe a bit more when I think of that option. When I think of the other one, I feel tense. I feel a little bit nervous, frightened, unsure. Kind of my body feels tight. So I'm going to take action from that softer place. And each time you take the action, you will see the response from the universe. It'll flow better. You'll get really positive feedback. And that then develops the trust in it. And the more you do it, the more positive feedback you get, and the trust develops more and more. So you do need to take action to test it out. So any tips on learning how to show up for yourself more? I've recently discovered my codependency. I always follow through in my word. I always follow through my words with others, but I fail to show up for myself consistently. Yes, this is such a beautiful question, and so common, and for women especially, because we have a lot of limiting beliefs that have told us that to be a loving, good person means to serve first, serve others, make sure they're happy and well. And then when they're happy and well, I will take care of myself and I will be happy and well. And the problem is we can't actually make anyone else happy or well or contented if they don't choose to want to, or to do the work to change whatever is causing or is at the root of their unhappiness. So actually postponing our happiness or taking care of ourselves until someone else is happy is a real drain on our energy, and we won't actually ever get around to ourselves. So it is actually looking firstly at the beliefs you have and the thoughts you have around what makes you a good, kind, loving person, and what do you have to be in order to be good enough, and when will you tell yourself you're good enough to then be able to look after yourself. So I'm going to do an exercise, or tell you a little bit about an exercise in a minute, that gets you to examine that. And that is what's stopping you showing up for yourself is a set of thoughts and beliefs around why you can't do that, and when you can do it. And you need to pull those beliefs and thoughts out and then change them, which we'll talk about now in a minute. So, but keep the questions coming. I will do my best to answer them. So as I was talking about the practices on a daily basis, and these are like anything from a minute, 30 seconds to 5 minutes. My daily practice on a great day, if all goes well, it is, well, I have my non-negotiables. So in the morning, as soon as I open my eyes, I start to pray. Then that might be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Then I do my gratitude. I list off everything I'm grateful for. Then I'll get up and meditate. That could be anything from 5 minutes, 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And I might get to read a few pages of a book that's inspiring me. And I know at least then I have begun the day with an intention that I want to, and I'm choosing love, that I am caring for myself, that I am filling my own cup up. So therefore I can move through the day not feeling resentful that I have nothing in my cup and I'm giving and giving, and there's nothing there. So that means that whoever I'm showing up for from a full cup, I'm there with my heart because I'm not drained, and I'm not there because I feel I have to, and I can give from a place of fullness. And also it just feels really good And it helps me feel centered, and it helps me feel calmer. And I really need to make that a priority right now. At the moment, because everyone's at home, then I am trying to do some sort of yoga practice or movement in the morning, with kids probably climbing over me, and that's okay, because I know even 5 minutes of it is going to make a difference. And how we move our body, and I know you've had a lot of talk on body and movement, so I'm not going to spend much time talking about that, but the intuition speaks through my body, so I might get downloads and thoughts and ideas as I'm moving my body, and they're really important ones. That's your soul speaking to you. Very often when we move our body, our soul speaks to us, because it shifts energy and clears out stagnant energy and clears out fear and worry and anxiety. So there's now room. And when you make room, your soul can actually give you information. Your intuition can speak to you. So they're my practices. But a word that I have that kind of came to me in meditation before Easter, just before the full moon, it was, I think, on Tuesday before Easter weekend, was the word rise. And I know around Easter time that's a very important word, and it's nothing to do with religion or anything, but it's just the energy, and the energy of the full moon. And the word rise came to me, and I carried it through, and then found that I broke it down into OR standing for reflect, I standing for intention, S standing for surrender, and E standing for energy. And this word has been my grounding word. This word I call into my awareness many times a day. And then I remember the 4 words that come with rise. So I just want to break those down a little bit for you, because I believe this is actually the energy, really, certainly for April and probably going into the best part of May, to remember the word rise, that this is what we're being called to at the moment, that we will rise from this, and we will rise together, I believe, more united, more connected to ourselves, more truthful, more authentic, more loving and kind. And if we take this time to really give this time to ourselves and connect into ourselves, we will then be able to make the changes we need in order to feel more connected to our own life, and actually be able to live it more, and not feel like we're just moving through the day and not really actually present in our life. So take the first letter R, that's rise, or reflect. So this is a time for us to really reflect on our life. And that's just asking certain questions. So how was I up to this point? Was I really living? Was I present? What was I feeling I was missing? What thoughts and beliefs that I had that were really unkind to myself? What habits did I have that really I wanted to clear, and now I have space to maybe look at them? Who do I miss? Who do I not miss? What was draining me? What do I have time for now that I notice brings me a lot more joy, makes me feel more calm, makes me feel more loving, makes me feel healthier? So it's a time to really, really look at our own lives. I'm really trying to look at my ego, because that's the most uncomfortable place. But I know that if I can do it in this time, because to really look at your ego requires a bit more stillness and silence and reflection. And it also requires an intention of wanting to, because most of the time we don't want to connect with our ego. Most of the time we're distracting ourselves from the uncomfortable thoughts that we have, or the behaviors we have, or the beliefs we have that we know deep down are limiting us, but we don't want to look at them, and we keep busy and we avoid. So this is a time to really start seeing your patterns. And you might have people, loved ones close to you, pointing them out, which is really uncomfortable. And we can get defensive, but instead of getting defensive, maybe let's now start going, okay, this is a gift to me if I can actually look at this. What patterns do I have that I'm really noticing now are really unhelpful and have been holding me back? So for me, for example, I've noticed where I hold on to controlling, trying to control and micromanage everything and everyone in my life. So where I feel like I need to be always managing it, because then it will be done right. And because I have such strong beliefs of what is the right way to do things, I notice that, gosh, I really try and control a lot. And how I'm just now in the process of just noticing that. So I'm just reflecting, I'm just watching. Look, I control there, and I try and control there, and I try and control there. Why do I do that? I do that because I'm frightened. What am I frightened of? I'm frightened if I don't do it, something bad's going to happen. Okay, interesting. So notice I'm not judging myself for having these patterns. I'm not going into more criticism or more fear, saying, why do I have that? I'm so terrible. Why do I do that? That's awful. Oh my gosh, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible wife. You're a terrible mother. I'm just inquiring. I'm just looking at it. I'm just noticing it. I'm just saying, that's interesting. Interesting that I do that. Interesting that I have that fear. Interesting that I try and control. So, okay, what are the thoughts behind that? I noticed that, I think something bad will happen if I don't control everything. So what I'm doing is jotting down my thoughts. So what I would encourage you to do is have a journal during this time, have a notebook or create one on your phone, and write down 10 of the most common thoughts you think. So write down 10 thoughts you have and think about yourself regularly. So you will really start to notice them now. I am controlling. I need to control everything in order for it to be right. I get angry about this. This really triggers me. I'm really defensive when it comes to this. So having a journal where you write down 10, try and, you may notice more, but try and come up or notice 10 thoughts that you think about yourself regularly. So this is a really, really good exercise, and it's never before been more important, and you really have the time to notice it now. So just become very aware, reflect, look at the thoughts. And then you can start asking questions like, are these thoughts helpful? Are these thoughts encouraging and motivating me? Are these thoughts kind? Would I speak this way to someone I love? Are these thoughts compassionate and understanding? So you start to become aware maybe of the thoughts and the dialogue and the way you've been thinking to yourself and talking to yourself much more unconsciously. And as we go through and have been much busier than we are now, we've probably been thinking those thoughts and not even aware, but they are directing and creating the energy within us. And they would definitely either blocking our intuition or helping us to connect more to it. So we want to really become aware of the thoughts that are maybe creating a lot more fear, a lot of blocks within us, a lot more limitation, a lot more contraction. So using this time to really reflect on the thoughts that you've been carrying with you, the thoughts that have been playing in the background constantly, but we've been distracting ourselves or too busy to even notice or listen to them. So become super aware now. It's like you're really getting kind of quiet to listen during this time. So maybe, during the day when you normally would have been busy doing something, stopping and just looking out at the sky and just noticing the kind of thoughts that come in and out of your mind, jotting them down, and then looking at, do these make me feel contracted? Are these helpful? Are these kind? Do these make me feel more afraid? Do they motivate me? Do they feel loving? And I want you then to pull out the ones that feel contracted, that feel limiting, that create fear in your being, and just pull out those ones. And you're going to try and change those. So this is an exercise I'm really working through at the moment. I'm just becoming super aware of my thoughts, super aware of the beliefs I might have. And that's where maybe the belief around, I don't deserve to show up for myself. I need to be there for others in order to be loved. Those kind of beliefs. I'm noticing my beliefs around control, my beliefs around, how I need to be as a mother in order to be a good mother, what I need to be doing every day in order to justify resting. Those kind of thoughts like, oh, I don't deserve to rest. I haven't done enough. Things like this, just noticing those beliefs and those thoughts and jotting them down. And then questioning which ones are helpful, which ones are more opening, which ones are going to move you forward in a more loving, kind way, which ones are negative, which ones are very fear-based, which ones are very contracted, and pull out those ones. And then I'd love it if, as we move through this time in your notebook, you jot down the opposite to those. Can you change? Can you flip those fear-based ones? Can you write ones that are the opposite of it, that are the direct antidote, the direct loving antidote to those fearful ones? Because these are going to become your mantra. They're going to become your affirmations over the next while. Because I do believe as we are in this time of change, we have an opening to put in new beliefs, to create new habits, to create new thoughts. And we need to first identify the ones that are harmful, the ones that have been holding us back, the ones that have been creating fear and contraction and limitation in our life, the ones that have been blocking us moving forward in the direction for our highest good. We first need to identify what those are, and then we need to change them. And we have that power. We have conscious choice. We can do that. And this is all within our control. So this is about doing things that are within our control and letting go of the things that are not in our control. So focusing on what we can control. So you're going to flip those, and then you're going to come up with maybe 5 or 10 new thoughts, and they become your mantra. They become what you repeat when you feel ungrounded, when you feel not centered, when you feel disconnected. You may have a list of 5 or 10 new thoughts. You stop, you take a breath, and you repeat these new ones. Because when you're ungrounded, feeling disconnected, feeling frightened, feeling contracted, you need to bring yourself back to center. And guarantee if you are feeling ungrounded, uncentered, anxious, fearful, worried, you are probably repeating some form of those subconscious beliefs that you've identified, and they are disconnecting you from your truth, from your soul, from your higher self, from that trusting, knowing, faithful place. So you need to get yourself back there. So by repeating the thoughts that you have created from that higher space, you are going to bring that energy back in. You are going to reconnect. It's like plugging back in. So I hope this is making sense for people. It's just these exercises that we can do as we move through this time and bring this awareness in. Also, in the reflection piece, I think it's really good to become aware of when I use the word should. It's a very telling word. It's probably showing you a belief that is underneath that, or a thought. I should be a certain way. I should be this way. So pull those out as well. Notice how often you use the word should. And what I find is really great practice at the moment is just flipping that to changing I could. Because that is giving you a feeling of choice. When everything and when we feel like so much choice is being taken away from us right now, and so much control is being taken away, we need to take back a feeling that we have of choice and that we have control over some things in our life. So I'm just paying attention to when I hear myself say should, and I just flip it and I say, I could do this, or I could do that. And then I connect in and maybe take a breath and go, which feels more loving, which feels more kind, which feels lighter, which feels softer, which feels more opening. And I say, I could do that, or I could do that. Which one feels better? And then I choose that. So the next word is intention. So it's really good to set an intention every day now to give the mind something to focus on, because so much of what we normally focus on, like our work or our daily routine, has been changed. So the mind really needs to have focus. So setting an intention. And from the previous exercise of having those affirmations or those new thoughts, you could use one of those as your intention. So repeat one of those new thoughts. So I'm going to focus on feeling and thinking this way today. And it could be that I am deserving of rest, or I am deserving to show up for myself today. That could be your intention. Or it could be just to play more, to have fun more, to be present, to dance, to read, to move. But as you maybe take some moments of stillness and silence in the morning, just to say, what's my intention for today? It could be a word, it could be a sentence, and carry that with you through the day, because that word or sentence probably come from your soul. If you've taken a moment to just be still or silent and a word or sentence comes into your awareness, that is your soul speaking to you. So if you can carry that intention with you throughout the day and remember that, you are then connecting into your soul every time you connect back to that word or to that sentence. So having an intention is really, really important right now. Setting an intention in the morning, because it gives the mind something to focus on. And the mind does need focus, but let's not focus on fear. Let's try and focus on what our soul is guiding us towards. So the next word is surrender. Now this is one I could spend hours talking about. This is the most challenging to us as a human being, is to surrender into the unknown, to surrender to something we cannot see, to surrender and let go of control. It is incredibly difficult when we have a very strong ego that loves to control and loves to know what's next and loves to know the plan. To surrender to the universe or to God or to source or to the divine is incredibly challenging. But it is one that we are being forced to develop right now, is the ability to surrender. And when we can do that, oh my goodness, we release so much anxiety, because now we don't have to micromanage every part of our life. We get to surrender it to an intelligence, to a being, to a source of higher love that I truly believe keeps everything going, that is keeping nature going. Even though all this is going on, nature is actually thriving. And that same intelligence that's keeping all of that going, I believe, will keep us all going. And if we can surrender and trust in that, we actually can breathe. And then we only have to really control or organize or work through what actually we have in our control, which is our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And if I only have to concern myself with that every day, I can now actually breathe, because I don't actually have to then control and worry and try and organize everybody else's thoughts, words, and actions, and the world's thoughts, words, and actions. I get to focus on my own energy, my own being. And that now suddenly I have a weight lifted, a huge weight lifted. So surrender is really important right now, because we are trying to control how others are thinking, what they're doing. Are they social distancing? Are they not? What's the world doing? What's the government doing? And actually it's creating a huge amount of anxiety and a huge amount of weight on our system. So for me, I truly choose to surrender to God, to a source that's more intelligent, more knowing, and has more of an understanding of what's going on than I do in my limited being. So I hand over and I ask for help. And we are only able to receive what we are willing to ask for. So I ask for help with everything right now. I say, universe, God, source, divine, higher intelligence, help me with this. You need to ask, because we have conscious choice. The universe does not know whether we are choosing to carry all of what we're carrying until we say, I surrender this, I let this go, I'm asking for help. So you need to ask every day for help. Ask to surrender. Ask for help to let it go. If you really are struggling with letting go of control, which I certainly have when it comes to mothering and co-parenting and all those things, I say, help me to let go of this, because my mind is so used to controlling and it's doing it out of fear. I need help. Help me to let go. Help me to surrender. Or I just say, I surrender and let this go. I surrender. And sometimes that might mean getting on our knees and just surrendering it. The question that I ask as I'm moving through my day, when I feel like, oh, I have to control this. Oh my gosh, this is just, why won't they do this? Why isn't this working out this way? Why is this way? Why doesn't it change? Why? I ask, does this matter? Can I let this go? Does this matter? Do I need to control this? Is it helpful for me to do this? Is it kind? Does it matter? Just let it go. Does this really matter right now? Can I just let this go? And as I said, I could speak for hours on surrendering, but I hope even just asking, just having those questions that you can ask during the day. Does this matter? Is this helpful? Is this kind? And then remembering to ask for help. Ask for help even to know how to surrender. And then, can I let this go? Just ask for help throughout your day. And the last one, E, for energy. All I have in control that I can control of right now is my own energy, my own vibration. So what do I need to do? I ask every day in the morning, what do I need to do to keep my energy in the most loving, calm, centered place as I possibly can today? Okay, I'll get an answer. It might be I need to go out in fresh air. I need to move. I need to eat this. I need to not eat this. I need to speak to this person. I need to not speak to this person today. I need to not go on social media today. I need to be on social media today. I need to connect with more people. I need to call someone. I need to be in the presence of that person because they always make me feel loving and kind and supported. So really checking in with what do you need to keep your energy in the highest, most loving vibration that you can. I need to cleanse the house. I need to use a crystal. I need to exercise. I need to gently exercise today. I need to really be in intense or do intense exercise today. When you ask the question and get inquisitive, you're asking your soul. And every time we ask ourselves questions, when we are in a space of inquiry, when we're inquisitive, we are starting to invite the other voices inside us, the soul, to speak. We are giving it space by asking questions. So these are the kind of questions that I carry through my day that help invite my soul into my day. So what do I need, soul? What do I need to be my highest, most loving self today? And you will get an answer that will drop into your head. And your only challenge then is to not question it or not doubt it and to take action from it. And every day, if we do take action from it, we strengthen that connection. We strengthen that voice. So it might be maybe movement. It might be, I'm going to take action on something. I'm going to create. I'm going to sit down and write. It could be, I'm going to actually make a decision on that. That will actually give me energy, that will actually raise my energy because I won't be worrying about this thing anymore or keep putting it on the long finger. I'm going to take action on that today, and that's going to shift energy for me. That's going to clear energy for me. It may be that I need to be more mindful when I'm eating today and slow down and just taste my food. So maybe I'm going to sit outside and just remove all distractions, just eat outside today. That's going to clear energy for me. That's going to move energy. It could be that I need to meditate today. That's going to move energy. It could be that I need to go even deeper and forgive someone today because that's going to clear energy for me. It could be that I need to burn a candle today and cleanse the house and clear energy in the house. It could be that what I'm doing right now is cleaning out the house, which so many people are doing right now, to clear energy, to clear space, to make room for new. So you will get answers the more you ask the questions. So I was hoping to kind of leave the last 10 minutes for questions. If anyone has any specific questions, maybe just start thinking of those now. If you want me to tune into anything specifically for you, I'm more than happy to do that. I do hope these have given you some practical ways to connect into your soul on a daily basis, to start inviting your intuition to speak to you, to bring more calm and centeredness into your day. And that is massively going to impact your experience of this time, your perspective on this time, but also those around you will feel it too. And a very simple one that I do like to share is one that I'm also using, and I do this with my kids as well, and for example, yesterday we went on a long cycle, and there's 2 different ways home, and we were asking our kids, which way do you want to go? Because they're twins, one will always say one way and the other one will always say the other way. They'll always differ. And so one said one way and the other one said the other way. And so we said we're gonna flip a coin. And because we couldn't decide, and I didn't really care, and my husband didn't really care, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna just be standing on this corner for the next 10 minutes. So we flipped a coin. And I noticed as the coin is flipping which way I wanted it to land. And that actually told me that truthfully, I did know I wanted to go a certain way, but I just didn't say it. And so flipping a coin can be really telling that, you know, when the coin's in the air and you're like, please land on that one, please land on that one. That's actually your intuition talking to you. That's your soul. So that's a lovely little one, just when you really can't make a decision and you're unsure. Sometimes flipping a coin will tell you a lot, because the side that you wanted to land on is often your truth speaking to you. So I'm just going to ask the question, how can I best support my young daughter? I can't really reason with her. Oh gosh. I hear you. I have a very strong-willed daughter. And reasoning, I don't know how old she is, Nicole, but oh gosh. If I had the answer to this, I probably would. She's 7. Okay, so my daughter is nearly 5. I think females, and I only have the 2, and there's probably parents on here that are a lot more experienced than me. But what I try and do is, most of the time, our children are trying to be listened to. Like, our inner child is always trying to get our attention, and so when I'm really conscious and aware, I first take a breath and try and listen. I say, okay, I'm listening to you. What do you want to say? Tell me what you want to say. And I give her the time to listen. Now, in my mind, I may be going, well, that's not going to happen, but I'm going to listen to you. And I try to just not already be formulating my answer when she's talking, but I look in her eyes and try and really listen. And then I say, okay, well, will you listen to me right now? And ask her. She has to answer, yes, I'm going to listen to you. And then I speak. And then, you know, maybe when we really listen, maybe actually I say in my head, okay, does this really matter? Is this a battle that I really need to fight? Does this really matter? Or can I give her this, whatever it is, time or space to really listen and let her make the decision, but she may have to deal with the consequences of that. Or it may be a case that, no, it does matter. I am going to stay firm on what I've said, but I do try and listen. I think when we feel listened to, no matter what the outcome, we're much more likely to move towards it. Does that make sense, Nicole? Because I'm not an expert on parenting for sure. I am learning every day, every single day. And I think daughters, and it could be any other mothers here can answer, but I think daughters really push the buttons of the mother. Thank you, Ashley. That's very, very kind of you. To learn more about my work, the easiest way is to go into my website. So it's Georgina Durcan, DURCAN.com. And everything, my one-to-one sessions are there. My podcast, I have a podcast called the Soul Side Up podcast. And a lot of the exercises I gave you are from my book, which is Soul Side Up. It's 21 days of exercises to connect and enrich the mind, body, and soul, which is on Amazon. But my website has everything there. So and on Instagram, I'm really active, I would say, on Instagram. I'm learning on it. I'm there most days. So I share things on there as I'm going through them in real life. Okay. I think if you don't feel uplifted by a person, but they haven't done anything wrong, it doesn't feel fair to create boundaries when a person isn't doing anything wrong. It is just your energy with them feels stale. Oh, this is a great question, Danielle. You know, a person, if we feel drained by a person, or that we just can't, you know, we just feel heavy when we come away from their energy, it certainly doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong, or that they're being negative, or, you know, it may be that they just may be holding a lot of fear or anxiety or worry, and they might not even be aware of it. Or it may be that our soul is just saying, you need to be doing something else. You need to be somewhere else. No is not a rejection. It's a cosmic redirection. So it may be just trying to redirect us to not be in that energy today. Maybe we're meant to just be on our own. Maybe we're just meant to, be taking the time to be doing something else. And it certainly doesn't mean they're wrong. It certainly doesn't mean we're higher or better or more spiritual or more knowing. It just may be, they may be holding a lot of fear that day, or they may be trying to just put energy onto us because they can't figure it out themselves. And, some days it's okay to be in that space, some days it's not. And I think that's where we need to just be really in tune with how our body's feeling, like, ooh, my body's pulling me away here, or contracting. So in that moment, can I remove myself, or do I just need to ask for a bit more protection? So I just tend to seal myself with light and just say, guide, source, protect me from this person's energy, keep me in my highest, most loving self. Use me as a channel of love, but keep me protected in my highest loving self. Or I might need to remove myself and just say, not today. You're not saying never, you're just saying not today or not now. Does that answer that, Daniel? I hope it does. Thank you, Amanda. That's so kind of you. I'm so glad the book helped you. I think for you, Leslie, it's just about the compassion for yourself. Oh, every day I would repeat, I am deserving and worthy of giving myself my own compassion and kindness. I think as women, that's really important, especially for women to say, and men, but really for women, that I am deserving and worthy to give myself my own compassion and kindness. So it's a really good one to say in the morning. Now, I feel that I have a strong intuition and have even worked briefly as an intuitive. I have moved on from this work as I felt uncertain it was the right path for me. However, I miss feeling connected to spirit. When I do find the time, I often feel called back to spiritual work. Oh, I really feel that you are being called back to it. And I think once you're in it, you can't switch it off. I certainly would never have chosen this path consciously and decided I'm going to be an intuitive, I'm going to be a healer. In fact, I resisted it for the greatest time until it clobbered me over the head many times. So I don't think you can turn it off. I think I feel you're really being called back to it. What can you do is you start just talking about it, you start sharing, you start telling people, this is what I can do. I feel in my heart I need to say this. Can I help you? Can I share this with you? I never go up to people on the street and say, I have a message from you. I never do that. But if they come to me and ask, for sure, I pass on whatever comes. But sometimes I might just say, I have something that I just feel I would like to say from my heart. Is it okay to share that with you? But if you're on social media, if you're on, just talk about what you can do and kind of come out of the closet. As I say, this is a time for anyone that can share wisdom from that loving space to share it. The world desperately needs it. People need it. So if you can, you must. I feel now. Does that answer that one? Oh, thank you so much. I feel very blessed to be able to share this. This is a real honor to be here. I feel as though I've recently gone through a wave of negative emotions. I'm the type who enjoy talking through this with others as it helps me navigate my emotions. But how do I go about that without being the person Danielle I'll be describing? I feel guilty for being in a negative state and being in a slump. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. Okay, thank you. So what I do with this, gosh, last Sunday, Easter Sunday, if anyone else felt this, from about Thursday to Sunday, Easter Sunday, I was an emotional wreck, I would say. I was questioning everything. I was having dark nights of the soul. I was feeling so emotional, teary, some may say negative. I try not to analyze my emotions as negative or positive or good or bad. They just are. So like I was saying, don't judge the emotions, just kind of take the sort of perspective of, oh, it's interesting that I'm feeling like that, or there's sadness, oh, there's guilt, oh, there's anger, oh, resentment, oh, okay, isn't that interesting? I wonder why that's there. Okay, what can I do about it? Is there anything I feel like I want to do? Do I just want to sit and cry? Do I want to call someone? And I just ask them with no judgment for them if they're not in this place to listen. So I say, like, I'm feeling really sad today, or angry today, or I just need to voice it out. I don't need you to solve it. I don't even need you to answer. Are you in a space where you can just listen right now? And I totally am okay if you're not. That kind of giving the person a conscious choice. And then it's up to them to speak their truth. You're speaking your truth, and it's up to them to then speak their truth and say, actually, you know what, I'm really tired today, or I'm having one of those days too, and I just actually don't have the capacity to give you the space to listen to you with a full heart. So could you call me tomorrow, or could we talk later? So does that answer that one? It's kind of, knowing sometimes we need to talk it out, sometimes we don't, sometimes we just need to cry, and that's okay. Oh my gosh, is that okay right now? We need to just feel the waves of emotions that are coming through. They're coming like waves. So they're coming through, and then we get knocked down, and then we get back up and take a breath, and then we come through again, and not to really judge them. They're just waves. And sometimes we'll need to talk to someone, sometimes we'll need to just be by ourselves, sometimes we need to cry, sometimes we'll listen to music, meditate, move, exercise, whatever it is. Ask what you need, and then ask the friend. I might need this today, but they mightn't be in a place, and I need to release any judgment from them if they're not. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Great, that helps. Okay. Yeah, trusting our intuition is a really, it's a really tricky one, but trust comes with time. Trust, think of every other relationship in your life where you now trust your friends or trust your partner. You didn't trust them straight away. It took time. It took, giving them time, giving them attention, spending time with them, being with them, talking to them, playing with them, all of those things, and then you develop trust. So your soul is just the same, your intuition is just the same. The more we take time with it, the more we'll trust it. Any ideas to support loved ones, family who are struggling so deeply with personal issues? I truly hurt knowing they do, but I feel so limited. I know. Yeah. Hi. Yes, this is a really hard. How do you support others that are going through such a tough time right now? There's so many ways to answer it. First, I ask them, first check in that you're giving from a full cup. So always make sure you're giving from a full cup, because then you're really giving from your heart and you're giving from a space of love. And then I ask them, what can I do to help you? That's a really simple question we don't tend to ask. We think we need to come up with the answer first and then give it to them. So I'm assuming they need me to talk to them. I'm assuming they need me to call them today. I'm assuming they need me to organize this for them. I'm assuming they need me to sort this out for them. They may not need you to do that at all. So ask them, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you? And they may just say, just even you asking that question was enough. I'd love you just to listen to me. I'd love you just to send me a message today or every day for the next while. And then you'll say, I can do that. Or, you know what, I actually can't do that, but I could do a form of that. So asking what someone needs is actually really, we forget to do that sometimes. We just think we assume this will make them feel better if I do this. But actually asking, or I find just praying for someone, sending them light, sending them love. We don't need to do that. We don't need to actually sometimes do something, but being there, just setting an intention. I'm sending them light, lighting a candle for them, sending them a picture and saying, I'm lighting this candle for you today. I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you light. That can be enough to really, really help someone know they're supported, they're loved right now. Does that help, Sarah? But really doing it from a full cup. That's really important. Oh, thank you, Mary Ellen. You're so welcome. It's a pleasure. Is there any idea or message that you feel called to share for this particular group? Okay. Give me a second. I have to tune in to this particular group. Okay. I'm feeling very emotional. There's a lot of tears when I tune into this group. That doesn't mean it feels like this group needs to actually just release a lot of emotion. that there are a lot of tears that need to be just released. Like I'm feeling like there's tears caught in my throat. You know, when you swallow tears down? And so what I'm getting is the message that probably everyone on here, or certainly most of you, because it's the energy that I'm feeling, have an expectation on yourself to be a certain way for everybody else. So you're probably more connected, more intuitive, more sensitive, more empathic, more sensitive, more all of those things, more spiritually maybe connected. And you're feeling like, I need to be the light. I need to be the positive one. I need to be helping others. I need to be serving others. I need to be not negative, not breaking down, you know, not crying in a corner in a ball. And what I really feel guided to say to you is that please release all expectation from yourself to be a certain way other than you, whatever you are on this day, on this moment. And whether that's you need to curl in a ball and cry your eyes out, whether that's you need to get cranky and cross and go and hit a cushion or write out all the mean things in your mind or whatever it is, please let yourself be in whatever it is you need to be and shed those tears that are squashed down. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to smile all the time and think you have to be spiritual all the time. Being spiritual is being present and embracing the reality of what is. So whatever that is okay. We need to embrace the reality of what is, not fight what is by trying to change it. So embracing the reality of what is actually the most spiritual thing we can do. So if I feel sad, I'm sad. That's okay. What do I need to do to be with the sadness or to be kind to this sadness or to help this sadness? So I feel it's about letting go of the expectation we may have put on ourselves and to shed those tears if we need to shed them. So I hope that message serves everyone on the group or in this group. I'm over my time, Danielle. So I didn't think I would, but here I am. I truly hope that you feel the love that's coming to you from me, and that this hour and a bit has helped you connect more to your soul, to your truth, to the answers within you, to your own wisdom, because you need to rely on that now more than ever. So lovely to see you all. I am sending so much healing. I've done a healing for this group before I came on this call. I will certainly be doing one afterwards. So I hope you can be open to receive it. And I'm here to support in any way I can. So reach out to me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, but I don't really go on there much. Instagram, or send me an email, or connect, or listen to my podcast, whatever way we can connect. I would love to connect with you. And it was an honor and a true blessing to be here with you from the other side of the world. I'm so grateful for technology every day right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I've now got to go and put twins to bed and get into the mom space. And I wish I could join you all for the rest of the day, but my energy needs to be filled up after about 8 o'clock in the evening. And I go to bed pretty early, get up pretty early. That's how I fill my cup up. But thank you all so much for listening, and Danielle for inviting me, and Gideon for doing all the magic that you do to keep it all all the techie bit that I certainly don't know how to do. So thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting in whatever way we can.
Thank you so much, Georgie.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. And bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. I'm so glad that you were all able to kind of be around Georgie if you haven't seen her before. She's, like she said, she's really